World leaders have gathered in Glasgow this week for the COP26 Climate Change Summit. The event, seen as a last-chance saloon, saw leaders agree to cut methane emissions, as well as pledging to end and reverse deforestation by 2030. Prime Minister Boris Johnson told a news conference last night that while the doomsday clock is still ticking, there is a bomb disposal team on site and they're starting to snip the wires. Senior leaders are now beginning to leave Scotland's second city, leaving behind dozens of teams of negotiators for the remaining 10 days. While climate change can cause global warming, rising sea levels, an increase in heavy precipitation and more, few thought it would have caused the UK to leave the European Union. Yet, former U.S. Vice President Al Gore warned that extreme weather as a result of climate change is creating political instability that the world will find extremely difficult to deal with. Speaking in 2017 at an event previewing a sequel to his landmark 2006 documentary, An Inconvenient Truth, he suggested that the principal cause of the Syrian civil war was 1.5 million people moving into the cities from the countryside amid the worst drought in 900 years. They met a similar number of Iraqi refugees in these cities, who had fled the conflict in their own country. The war, Mr. Gore claimed, brought more refugees into Europe, and helped convince some UK voters to leave the EU. Mr. Gore said, "This collision between the power of industrial civilization and the surprising fragility of the Earth's ecosystem now poses a great danger that could even threaten the future of human civilization itself." One of the lines of investigation scientists have been pursuing has led them to the conclusion that significant areas of the Middle East and North Africa are in danger of becoming uninhabitable. And, just a taste of this, to link it to some of the events that the UK and European Union are going through, think for a moment about what happened in Syria. He cited the drought and the resultant climate refugee crisis, and the internal conversations within the Syrian government fearing a social explosion, which were released by WikiLeaks. Mr. Gore said the sheer number of people fleeing produced an incredible flow of refugees into Europe, which is creating political instability. The instability, he said, contributed in some ways to the desire of some in the UK to say, "Whoa, we're not sure we want to be part of that anymore." A poster used by Nigel Farage in the run-up to the referendum showed a picture of thousands of refugees crossing into Slovenia from Croatia during the height of the migrant crisis in October 2015. "Breaking Point" was written in capital letters, with "The EU has failed us" written underneath. It was reported to the police by Dave Prentice of the Unison Union, with a complaint that it incited racial hatred and breached UK race laws. Nicola Sturgeon labelled the poster disgusting, while then Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said it was appalling. Mr. Gore said the climate crisis poses the threat of some political disruption and chaos, a kind the world would find extremely difficult to deal with. He echoed this in an interview in August 2017 with The New European. Of course, there were many causes of Brexit, but one of them was this, and the most powerful ad in the campaign was that billboard showing the endless lines of refugees at the borders of Europe with the implicit message, "Do you want them coming here?" Scientists this year confirmed that the UK is already undergoing disruptive climate change. A UK State of the Climate report published at the end of July confirmed 2020 was the third warmest, fifth wettest and eighth sunniest on record. No other year features in the top 10 of all three criteria. Experts confirmed the UK has become 0.9 warmer and 6% wetter in the last 30 years. The UK experienced significant flooding in both 2020 and 2021, and destructive wildfires hit in the summer of 2019 too. Much of Europe witnessed scorching temperatures this summer, with temperature records being shattered in Sicily, as well as other parts of the world including Canada.